What's up? It's an orange. Alright, so just came back from work. My one little lesson on Christmas Day, and I was late because I went to the club last night. And I said I'm gonna come home and just take a little bitty 2 hour and a half nap. Next thing I know, it's 3 hour nap, which means I got like 1 hour to get to work. And this student always comes 10 minutes early, so he calls me 10 minutes early. Where are you? I'm like, man, I'm at the station next to the station. And I got there at 10:01. I got there 1 minute after. So I wasn't even late. But anyway, let me just break down this last night before I forget it. All right, so I left. I just got my hair cut. This is yesterday. So I just got my hair cut. And I made pasta. I was going to make Christmas chicken, which I'm going to make now. But there's nothing special about my chicken. It just happens to be made on Christmas. So I ate my pasta. I told myself I'm going to do the dishes before I leave. Because, you live alone. Sometimes you just leave them dishes. Left the dishes there for a week. It's neither here nor there. All right. So I go to Roppongi. And I'm walking down to the place where I was going to go. And I'm standing on the corner waiting for the light to change. And I see a car full of Middle Eastern people. Merry Christmas. And they were jamming. They were playing like Middle Eastern hip hop. Kind of like, it's rocking. But it wasn't that. It was like 10 of them in like a 4-car car. And they pull up and they all look at me and they're like, it was so funny. You had to smile. You just had. And I was going to take out my camera, but I would had to have been shooting already to capture that. It was just classic. But take my word for it. So then I go to the first club. 1,000 yen, all you can drink. I didn't know it was all you can drink. So I went to the bar to get my cranberry. And I tried to give him the 1,000 yen. The guy's like, nah. I'm like, oh, snap. All you can drink. But the thing with all you can drink when you don't drink, there's only so much cranberry, orange juice, and flat cola that you can drink before it's kind of like, eh. So I'm in this first club. And this club's kind of hood. I would frequent this club maybe 3 more times, and I saw two fights happen out of 2 out of 3 times. But one of the fight was kind of cool. There was this big guy and there's a little guy, and the little guy was trying to beat up the big guy, and the big guy was just kind of like pushing him. Like, I don't want to bother with this man. But this little guy, he was really, I don't know what he did, but he was just, but it was funny to see. So then I left that club, and then I went to, I was trying to find this other club, so I ended up going on the wrong side. Oh, wait, let me watch. So I'm at this club, right? Just standing there doing my 2-step. Yeah, I still do the 2-step. I learned by watching. I ain't been to the club, so I just revert to what I know. But they play a lot of reggae, and they play a lot of Sean Paul, so I just do my So I'm standing there, and this Pakistan guy, he said, how you know he's Pakistani? Because he said, hey man, I'm Pakistani. Why don't you join my Pakistani party? And he starts introducing me to all these people. He's like, why don't you join? I'm like, okay, and I step closer. But ain't no girls there. It's just a bunch of guys sitting in a circle, dancing. Now they're having fun. It's the holidays and what have you, but yeah. So then I leave that club. I was thinking, should I say goodbye to them? But I don't know these people. So I dip. I go to the next club in Roppongi. I was following I actually went to the club, to Roppongi, for one specific club, but I got sidetracked. So I go to this other club because I thought it was that one. I saw a line of people. Lines of people are good because it means there's people in the club. So anyway, I go in the club. It's kind of packed. You can't really move or anything. And I'm standing there, and this guy, Japanese guy, comes up like, "Hey, will you buy me a drink?" So I say, "Merry Christmas." "I ain't buying you no drink." So then I'm like, "Dude, you got a bracelet. This is all you can drink night." He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." "I don't know. I just stepped in this club." So look. So we're standing by the bar watching people order drinks. I'm like, look. And eventually we see one go up there, say whatever, and then they don't pay. So he gets his drink, like, "Oh, thank you. And I had on my headphones, like, "Are you DJ?" Like, nah. And I was gonna walk away, but like, "I'm a dancer." So then I'm like, "I'm a rapper." So he's like, "Oh, that's my friend. He's a professional dancer." And I said, "Hey man, I like your hair," because he had one of those little things on there. And then there was a black guy on the other side of his table, and he was doing this. Because I was about to be like, "Hey, what's up?" But I was like, what? All right. So I'm talking to this guy for a little bit, and we eventually, I'm like, I walk away. I didn't say goodbye because, again, I don't know these people. So then I'm walking around, and I make my way out, and then I go to the club, which was literally across the street. I wasn't looking hard enough, but it's also, well, this is 2,000 yen, and you get like 4 drink tickets. Now I've been drinking cranberry all night, so I'm not really thirsty. So I go in there, and this club is better. It's bigger. They're playing not hip hop, but pop music. A lot of people. So I'm out there doing my thing, dancing to this music, enjoying myself. And one woman caught my eye. European woman, pretty tall. And she caught my eye, so I'm just kind of, seeing. I see one guy approach her, and she's like, "Put the ring on it." So I guess she's married, right? So then these really old. Well, this club is weird, man. There's like a lot of old people. And they had like a super VIP where this old guy was sitting there, not smiling, but he has money, just sitting there looking. And later on that night, some sumo wrestler people came in there. It's like that kind of club. So I was sitting there dancing with some older women, and then this guy comes in, and he's like, he just kind of gets in between me and them, and he's like all talking. I'm like, because I can't really hear people in the club. So we get to talking, and he's all like, I'm like, "Aren't you married?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Where's your wife?" Because I saw the European girl walk off with him. I'm like, "Where's your wife?" He's like, "She's over there." I'm like, "So where'd you meet your wife? How old's your wife?" I'm all up on his wife. And he's just like, "Yeah, she's 20 something. He was like 60 something. I'm trying to work it out." Because he seemed like he had money. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's true love. I don't know. So then his wife comes over, kind of like a, what's the right word to describe how she came over? Like, I can't even, but she comes over, she's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you talking to my husband?" Like that kind of. And then her husband said something, and she's like, "Merry Christmas." Like she said it like she didn't want to say it, kind of. "Merry Christmas." So I took this picture. You see that picture right there. So that's her husband. And that random guy is just this random guy who was just randomly being random. We're gonna go up there, all the way up, and then come back down. So, we're talking, and this guy, he's all like, "So, what you do? What it up?" His name's Mike. He lived in the States, does IT. Can you see them birds? Merry Christmas, birds. So, at one point, he's like, "What you doing on Monday?" I don't know. I ain't doing nothing. He's like, I don't know what he said, but I gave him my phone, and he writes his number in there. So I got a guy's number. Maybe he could be my new best friend, and me and his wife can be good friends. So after a while, he goes back into VIP, and I'm chilling. I go to the bar to get a drink. Did they have cranberry here? Nah, I got ginger ale. And this Chinese boy was standing there, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Merry Christmas." He's like, "Hey, what you doing?" I'm like, "We're talking. He does engineering or some shit at like Keio University or some shit. Young guy, like 19. So talking to him, get our drinks, we come pie, and then I go back to the other side of the club. I'm dancing like a dancing machine, and some random guy gives me a drink ticket, which that was nice of him, but it's like all you can drink, so you know, kind of redundant there. Whatever, it's nice. And anything notable happened? We're gonna fast forward because can't do this in chronological order, right? So at the end of the night, I went back to, okay, you know what? We're gonna keep it in the order is to keep my sequence. So then I left that club, and then I went back to the other club, and I walk in. Now there's like 80% dudes and 20% girls. It's that kind of ratio. Not a good ratio. And I walk over to the corner because they had some go-go dancer dancing go-go. And I'm observing her. And this Japanese guy comes, like he's standing there, and he's like this. Just standing there. So I do this. Oh! And then he tries to see how big my muscles are. I'm like, dude, I ain't got no muscles. You don't see me running around like this. He's like, I'm Playboy. Like, okay, I'm like, who you playing? You playing this girl right here? You playing that girl right there? And he's like, nah. And then that was that. I say Merry Christmas to the go-go dancer. Merry Christmas. She says, thank you. And then I head out to the other side. As I'm walking towards the door, I see two Japanese guys dancing with, maybe there's two Japanese girls, two Japanese guys, but one guy was kissing the one Japanese girl, and the other guy was trying to get the first base? I forget my bases. He was going up her shirt as the other guy was kissing her. And I think he was trying to do something with the other one. They're like gang banging in the club, which was interesting for me to watch for a couple of seconds. But they're all, yada! But it was a kind of, well, I don't even know. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's what they were doing. She didn't leave. Everyone smiled. So then I left that club. I went back to the other club, and there was another fight. And anything else happened? Nah, just that. And then I went to another club. So this would be the third club I went to that night, or fourth club. Another 1,000 yen, one drink type of thing. Now this club is like 90% dudes, black dudes, and then 10% women. It wasn't always like that. It used to have a different ratio. But the music they play is, you know, I like it. It's all hip hop, no pop shit, and you know, they do their thing. So I go in this club, and I'm having a good time here, See some lady dancing up there. We make eye contact. But my game wasn't strong. Back in the day, I can eye contact right them off the stage. But, you know, it's been a while. Shouldn't have left you without some eye contact to get you. So I'm in there just chilling. The music is good. I'm doing my thing. And they're playing they played Soulja Boy. And can you hear that? Echo? Merry Merry Christmas. Okay, okay. So they're playing some of the old songs in the same club, and you know, good times, good times, good times. And then I leave that club. I go back to the other club. At this point, I'm kind of hungry, so I go to Family Mart. They said they had some Christmas chicken. I said, is it delicious? He said, of course. I took 2 bites and threw that shit away. Don't trust the Family Mart man. And then, finally, I go back to the intended club because I left my coat in the locker. So I'm walking around in the cold. Cold. And I get back to the club. Not so many people are there, but it's a nice group, I guess. And more space to dance. So we're dancing. So I saw one of the girls that was there first time I was there. And I was like, so what's your name? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And she said she came with all those guys. There's like 5 Indian guys that she was with, a group of them. And we're talking. So I was like, hey! Because that's like, so she's like, oh, he's shouting in my ear. And I'm like, my bad. It's been a while, man. You know what I'm saying? So she's a Japanese teacher. I'm like, I'm an English teacher. On Saturday, I go out to Chiba. She happens to live in Chiba. But that's all I got. Then, after that, I was about to leave, but then they played Happy, and I like dancing to Happy because I'm happy. Pharrell did his thing on that one. All right, so then I try to catch that early train back home. I live about 1.5 hours from Roppongi now, so I gotta hit them trains. So we're gonna turn this way. You know why? Because that sunlight and that view. Sunlight and view. All right, so then I get on the train. I'm sitting there waiting for the train. It's like 10 minutes. I hear some people talking. I can't see them, but it doesn't sound like they're Japanese. And the female pokes her head out because they're behind a pillar. And then eventually they walk over. They kind of stop in front of me, kind of looking at me. So I say, Merry Christmas. They say, Merry Christmas. I say, where are you guys from? They say, Mexico. I think I never met anybody from Mexico. Okay, I met one guy, but today I haven't met anybody from Mexico. So it turns out to be a guy and his sister. The guy works in Japan 5 years. The sister is visiting. She's also a teacher in Denver, teaching all her shit. So they're just sitting there. We're talking, and we happen to get on the train together. And I would say they're cool people that I would talk to if it was possible. So I'm like, hey, you guys on Facebook? Like, yeah, I'm on Facebook. So I take her phone, I type in Ryman Gaijin. But there's no signal because we're on the subway. So that means we're underground. And yeah. So she's like, I'll take a screenshot of that. Now they're drunk. That's what they keep saying. I'm drunk, man. I'm drunk. Like, I don't drink. He's like, when's the last time you had a drink? I'm like, 35 years ago. But I never drank. So that probably doesn't really, because he was also confused, and I'm confused when I said that. But I meant to say I have never drank, and I'm 35 years old. So I get off at 2 stations. They say when they get Wi-Fi or signal, they'll hit me up on Facebook. Maybe we'll go out for New Year's Eve or some shit. But they haven't hit me up, and that might be the end of that. And as I said, I was late to work today because I put my head down at 7. Plan was to get up at 9:30 and then go to work, get there around 10:45, meet my student. But that didn't happen. I got there at 10:01, 11:01. But you know, we had a good lesson talking about this, that, and the third. And now, I wasn't supposed to make this video, but I did. I gotta go home, make my Christmas chicken, and then I got a little party I'm gonna go to. So that's Ryman's Day. I hope that your holidays are filled with cheer and all that shit. Tonight, when I get back, I'll unblock or unfeed or put all those freestyles back up. And yeah, have a happy holiday.